This is Bumper to Bumper, the car show. Drive in anxious and cruise out confident. With the best automotive information for your vehicle. And now your hosts, Matt Allen and Dave Riccio.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Bumper Radio. Again, this Saturday at 11. I am Matt Allen, along with my good friend here, Dave Riccio, your KTAR car guys. And we're here to help you with your car. Got a car question, a problem with a repair, anything you need about your car, all you got to do is give us a call to participate in the show at 602-277-5827. It's 602-277-KTAR. We can also do some text messaging if you like. As long as you're not driving, you can do that at 411-923. And on the Bumper to Bumper roadmap today, we're going to have a car tip for you a little later in the show. As always, open phones. And there's some automotive news this week. We've got hacked cars. We've got broken bridges, recalls, all kinds of stuff going on here in the automotive world. We'll talk about the hacked car. That was pretty interesting. The hackers getting in there and taking control of these Jeeps, which I think prompted $1.5 million car recall or something in that area. But Dave, used cars are what I want to talk about today. We've talked about it in the past, and we've kind of talked about, I think, more in that $5,000 car range, the entry-level car. But I got to tell you, I've got Pascal here today from Virginia Auto Service, and we've been seeing these cars come into the shop. And you know what? You can buy a $5,000 used car, and if it's not so good, that's kind of what you signed up for. You're just getting something. But, I mean, we're seeing $25,000 cars, $15,000, real cars, real money. Not that $5,000 isn't real money. We're seeing a rash of these again where these cars are absolutely garbage. And I'm not talking about cars that were flooded. I'm not talking about these weird things. I mean, I'm talking about cars that were wrecked. Some body shop, backyard body shop did this work. They pretend they're selling the car as a private owner, and these things are bad. Have you been seeing any of this stuff, Dave, or hearing stories?
Oh, half the cars we work on at Tri-City Transmission are cars that people just bought. So when people think they have a problem, a lot of times they'll just go ahead and sell the vehicle, and they'll avoid that repair. So I think, that's a good point. If you're looking at a car that's $3,000 or $5,000, you're not really going to get someone that's going to let you take it to your mechanic and get it checked out and get another opinion, and the Carfax is going to be pretty vague. It's pretty old, but you're shopping for a car that's $10,000 to $20,000, $25,000. I think you got a whole lot more time, and it's worthwhile to get that thing checked out instead of just buying it on the spot. Don't make a rash decision on a car.
Well, and what we experienced earlier this year and late last year is I would still be a proponent. I tell everybody, you need to let us check the car. But those cars in that $5,000 range, they're just moving so fast. By the time you get them to sell it, and then hey, I want to go take this car, there's already somebody else standing there that isn't interested in taking the car somewhere else. But you're right, Dave. Have the car checked out no matter what. But we need to back this whole deal up to the beginning, right?
Well, we get all kinds of people asking us questions at the shop. Hey, I'm thinking about buying a car. What would you buy? Of course, there's buying a new car. That's one thing. But today, specifically, we want to talk about buying used cars. And, the things they got to do, and really it's what can I afford to drive, is really set the budget first.
Step one, right?
Number one, get the budget. What can I afford? So I would handle that too. Now, if we're buying a used car, one thing that you and I were talking about is that generally the year before someone gets rid of a car, they do almost no maintenance. They do the bare minimum. Needs an air filter? Let that one ride, or needs coolant flush? Let that ride. Needs a transmission service? Let that ride. So they don't spend any money on it the year before they're ready to divorce the car.
Right.
So when you're budgeting, you can't, if you think you want a $10,000 car, that's really an $8,000 car, but you got to figure $2,000 for a little bit of upkeep on it, the things they didn't take care of before they got rid of the car.
Yeah, if your maximum budget on a car is 10, you're right, Dave. You can't spend all the 10 on the car because depending on where you buy, you're going to have sales tax, and maybe you want to get an extended warranty, which, geez, that's a whole nother show topic. But you're right. We see these people, and we do the post-purchase inspection a lot of the time. They'll come in and let's find out if I made a mistake or not. And we might find some things that really need work, and then we find the people have already spent all their money. So that's good. So we need to budget. We need to find out how much we can afford, and then set some of that aside
for repairs and upkeep on the car
Yeah.
that didn't get done the year before it was sold.
Yeah.
And the next thing is, go get your funds taken care of. Whether you're going to go buy it from a used car lot or a new car dealer who's got used cars on the lot, go ahead and go down to your credit union. I bought a couple used cars and I financed it through Arizona Central Credit Union, but I went ahead and got that lined out ahead of time before I went shopping for a car.
If anybody's ever bought a new or used car, well, how much do you want your payment to be? What do you want this?
Yeah, you don't want to get into that.
And you tell someone, these salesmen, hey, I guess more power to them. That's what they're supposed to be doing. But, I want a $300 car payment. Well, it's only for 7 years, though. No. That's the worst. I was buying my truck. What do you want your payment to be? I don't care. $10,000. It doesn't matter. We don't buy the car in payment. We purchase a car, and then whatever the payment is. So get your financing. So let's get our finances in order, prearrange, get your budget, find out how much you can spend. Next, now we got to find a car.
Well, variety, right? So, and this is a thing where I see people make mistakes. They go buy this car and it's got 2 doors, but they got 2 kids in child seats. Why do you want a 2-door car? You got to figure out what's practical. I see people buy these cars, and the wife is not happy when you come home with a Corvette and you got a baby on the way.
Yeah.
Not a good deal.
No, definitely not. Or like me, I bought the station wagon, and boy, she hated that. Now that she's we have kids, now she feels like a grandma in the wagon. But so we need to find a practical car. So who are you going to ask? I mean, obviously driving around, you could see cars that you think you like and write down what it is, and then maybe you go to Auto Trade or something like that and put your budget in. You can put a price range, and all these different cars are going to come up.
Well, what family of car? Am I looking for an SUV? There's full-size SUVs, and there's the small SUVs, kind of like a RAV4 versus a Toyota Highlander. Those are both Toyotas, but one's quite a bit bigger than the other.
Yeah.
That type of thing. So are we talking about a 2-door? Are we talking about do we need a truck, with an 8-foot bed that never has to be made? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that never has to be. And the other thing is ask your mechanic. We talk to people at my shop all the time about cars and what our opinions are. And I'm not talking about, I hate Chevys. I'm a Ford guy. You only can get a Ford. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about practical use of the car. And maybe that one kind of car has these weird problems, or they're a maintenance nightmare. Maybe you're not prepared to have the maintenance required on a higher end German car, or what was once one that is now a few years old.
Actually, that's a topic I didn't know we were going to go to. But some of these luxury cars, the cost of ownership on a luxury car is a whole lot more. So you go, hey, wow, I can get a BMW for $8,000. I'm going to look good in that car, and you get that car, and the first time you need something major, you go, really, $3,500 to fix that little doohickey?
Yeah.
And so the cost of ownership on these luxury cars is way higher. So, that car was $60,000 new. When it's time to come fix it 10 years later, it's still going to be very expensive to fix.
Well, and too, even some of the newer cars, you take a Hyundai or a Kia or something, they want synthetic oil. That's not a luxury car, but it's a little bit more expensive. The other thing is, so ask your mechanic, ask your friends what they're driving. If it's a newer car and it's a similar body style still, Pascal and I talked about this, I think, last week. Go rent it.
Yeah.
Go test drive this car, how you're going to use it. Put the car seats in it. Go for a ride. Go to the grocery store. Tell the salesman, leave me alone. Here's a deposit. Here's my driver's license. So you can go have a conversation with your wife, your significant other, your kids, whatever it is. You're going to have a different kind of conversation when you're just out driving than you are with this guy sitting in the back figuring out how he's going to close you.
I have bought a car and made the mistake of I drove it for 2 days and I realized my back hurt like a son of a gun. So you want to make sure the thing's not going to hurt your back, because I had to turn around and sell the car. It was a waste of time.
Yeah, and then everything. Identify the usage. There's so much there. Drive them. Go use it. Talk to your mechanic. Now, what's the next step, Dave? Number 3. We've got to. Now that we've got the car we've test driven it, and this is the one. I guess, I don't know. Do you negotiate price first, or do you you've already done that because but you've already done your homework. You know what the car's selling for. You think what you might be able to get it for. You might be able to get go in there and whittle them down and negotiate, but you have a pretty good idea. So maybe you want to make the deal, but don't sign yet, because one of those last things we want to do is you've got to get that car into a bumper-to-bumper radio shop or your regular mechanic and have that checked out. Because I got to tell you, dealership is 60,000 miles, and we did everything. Well, what is everything?
No. This is a flipper.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
Well, the other thing is, I wanted to bring up Carfax, and Carfax is a tool out there, but Carfax is kind of like a first date. It doesn't tell you everything. It's only going to be in the Carfax if it was actually reported, because people buy these cars all the time, and they're surprised to find out that it wasn't in the Carfax. A lot of stuff is not in the Carfax. So first date, I think I'm interested in this car. Go ahead and do the Carfax, and if there's nothing major, hey, maybe I'll go back for another test drive and go a little further with it.
Pascal, I think you can do Carfax where you buy like a month subscription and you can do a bunch of different VIN numbers. You don't have to pay each time. Isn't that right? There's something
you can buy a month subscription. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So that's a good thing. Invest the $30. We're making an investment, $15,000 into a car. Or whatever it is. Maybe it's 25 or 30. There's all kinds of the value of the used cars. And then there's some other things that we'll look at. Are you buying a car that doesn't even have a license plate or a temporary tag? Maybe it's got a temporary tag. Or take a look at the title first. There's all kinds of different things that we need to be looking at. So, and you don't want to get stuck with a car that's going to get broken down.
Well, give us a call if you got car buying questions at 602-277-5827. That's not all we're talking about. Anything you want to talk about today. Matt, I noticed the hotter it gets, the more batteries show up at my shop dead. Cars on tow trucks with dead batteries. And it's definitely that time of year. If you're looking for a good battery, Interstate Batteries, that's what we carry at our store. That's what Matt carries in his shop as well. Interstate Batteries is an excellent choice. How long have you known Interstate Battery?
It doesn't matter. The name brand is around. It's the nation's #1 replacement battery. They're involved in the automotive industry. They're involved with NASCAR, which doesn't necessarily mean anything about the being
it just
involved
gives
in
it
the
a
industry.
coolness factor.
Yeah, but they are a nationwide brand. You're going to find Interstate Batteries wherever you are.
When we come back, 602-277-5827. You can also text us at 411-923. You listen to Matt and Dave, your KTAR car guys, on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
It sounds like they've just had the accurate automotive experience. We're family owned and operated and have served the Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert communities for over 22 years. We focus on building long-lasting relationships and, listening to you so that we can understand, meet, and exceed your expectations. One location, 14 bays, 88 years of automotive expertise, and a passionate commitment to customer service and excellence. My name is Lee Weatherby, and I approve this message because it's true. We love what we do, and we want to do it for you. Accurate Automotive, the home of friends serving friends.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A+ rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20+ years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
This is Bumper to Bumper Radio, KTAR News on 92.3 FM.
Welcome back to Bumper Radio. I'm Matt Allen along with Dave Riccio, and we are your KTAR car guys here every single Saturday at 11 to help you. And one of the ways that we can help you is all you've got to do is give us a call and ask us a question, and we will come up with the best answer that we absolutely can. You do that by calling us at 602-277-5827. It's 602-277-KTAR. And for you shy types that like to text, as long as you are not driving, you can do that at 411-923. So if you missed part of the first segment, we really focused on buying used cars. We have had a number of cars in my shop lately, and we're not talking junkers. Well, we're talking junkers, but we're not talking $5,000 cars. We're talking $15,000, $20,000 cars that these things are destroyed. And had these people invested $100 to have us look at the car and really give it a good comb over, and I'm not talking like Trump's hair. I'm talking a comb over of the car to
That was so bad.
a really good thorough going over of the car to find out that you're not buying a mistake. Pascal, we had that Jetta in the shop the other day. It's about a $13,000 or $14,000 car, right?
It's a 2012 Jetta, and the girl who purchased it bought it for $7,000. Thought I got a great deal.
It was $5,000 less than every other one.
Man, this is great, and it wouldn't even needed an inspection if she would have brought it by one of the shops, opened the hood, That would have been the end of it, because it must have had a life supply of drywall screws from Home Depot holding the front end together.
That's what we call a Blockamore car. It looks good from a Blockamore away.
It's just horrible. In that case, that's one of those deals. We would have opened the hood on that car within 30 seconds. We would have known that we don't want to buy it, and we don't want you to buy that car. And there's some things that you can do. I mean, one is talk to your mechanic. You're out buying a car on a Saturday or Sunday. At least come by, and we'll take you out to a car in the shop. We can point out some things. You don't have to be a car expert to just see some of the signs. Overspray paint. Maybe gosh, we had a nice BMW in the other day. Guy got it out of the body shop. It had a heck of a two-tone paint job on it. They did such a bad job of matching. You could tell the car had been painted. But let's look at the gap on the hood. The things need to be consistent, left to right on the car. If you can fit your thumb between the fender and the hood on the left side,
a problem.
And you can't get your pinky down the other side, there's something not right there. So we can give you those tips if you want to stop into any one of the bumper-to-bumper shops before you go car shopping.
And we're certainly not here to scare you on used cars. I think for a lot of people, a used car is a great way to go. There's nothing wrong with a used car. It's just take the steps to protect yourself so you don't end up with a piece of poop. And people think, even though they buy a car from a lot, there is a little bit of a lemon law, I think, on used cars, but if you sign an as is, I don't think that really applies, does it?
Well, there's like a 15-day or 500 miles for a major component, so it have to be like engine or transmission. But yeah, just don't ever believe everything's been done. The warranty covers it all, and the car's perfect.
If it's too good to be true, it definitely is. Hey, we're going to go with Stan from the West Valley on a 1997 Oldsmobile 88. How can we help you, Stan? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
I've got an AC problem. Runs fine all the time when I'm on surface streets and on the freeway up to speed. But when I go up the ramp and I stomp on it, AC goes away.
So only when you're getting on like a wide open throttle condition?
Yeah, if I hit the passing gear or stomp on it, when I'm going up the freeway on ramp.
Okay. I'm thinking on that car that I know my Mustang had it, and there's other ones. They have a wide open throttle cutout switch for the air conditioner, because the strategy and the way the software is written in that car to get the maximum performance. If you are going wide open throttle, you're telling that car, I need maximum horsepower. I got to get out of the way of something. I need to get up to speed. The number one priority is putting all the power to the wheels. So a lot of them will have an air conditioning cutout, and it just shuts the air conditioner off when you're on wide open throttle, and then it will come back on. It's not going to cut out the blower or anything else like that. And you shouldn't really notice that.
Now, if the airflow was to stop coming out of the vents under, getting on the freeway, then we got a different problem, which would be a vacuum problem. 1998 or 97, I'm still thinking that's got some vacuum in the dashboard.
Yeah, I cut him off a little bit early. So if the AC just stops blowing cold, that could be a wide open throttle cutout switch. If the position of the airflow changes, say from the vents, and it moves down to the floor or up to the defrost vents while you're accelerating, then I think we have a vacuum leak or a vacuum control problem. And if it's the first one I mentioned, you shouldn't notice that. You shouldn't notice that the air is not working. So I suspect in that case, you might even just need a service to make sure it's working the way it should, so you don't notice that wide open throttle loss.
Hey, we got a text from Ellen in Scottsdale. She says, what are your thoughts on purchasing cars from a wholesaler? Prices are great. Is there something wrong with the vehicles? Not necessarily. If you're working with somebody who's reputable wholesaler, who's been around, there's people that do that. You tell them what car you want, and they'll go find it for you, and they're good at what they do. It's just not everybody's the same, Yeah,
well, it's just like any shops.
Like any shop,
good shops do good repairs. Bad shops do bad repairs. Good wholesalers find good wholesalers, and bad wholesalers are just sleazy and they're they get categorized in that quote used car sales guy, but. There's nothing wrong with it. Find a good, reputable one. And, the only bad thing, I guess, about that is you really don't know what you're getting, because they don't know either. But I think most of those guys are working in that 2 to 4 year old car.
These aren't very old cars. Yeah, they're pretty safe bet in a lot of cases. So we're going to go with Jay in Santan on a 2008 Honda Odyssey. How can we help you, Jay? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Well, it's a car with about 83,000 miles on it. We bought it new, so I know what's been done. I'm planning to do a timing belt between 90 and 100,000, along with the entire kit, like you have talked about on a couple of your previous shows. I suppose probably belts, hoses, coolant, the whole thing at that point. Is that a good time to do belts, hoses, and coolant?
Well, on a Honda, we really don't see hose failures too much. But, yeah, I'm going to do, that timing belt I think has a 105,000-mile interval in that car. So we're going to most likely do timing belt. We're going to do the kit. So you're going to have the tensioner, the idlers, all the little components in there. You're
Some seals also, right?
Well, maybe it depends. You're going to do the water pump, and then by virtue of doing the water pump, now we're going to flush the cooling system. At my shop, I'm probably going to put a new radiator cap on it. I'm going to put that together. We're going to put the outer drive belts on. I'm not going to maybe go arbitrarily just replacing coolant hoses unless there's a reason to. We're going to inspect them.
Take a feel of them, see how they look.
Yeah.
Well, see how they feel.
See how they feel, see how they look. What's the condition of the coolant? But you said you've taken care of the car. One other thing that you might want to consider on that car, just like any car, you can go to the internet and find any problem with any car. Those have a tendency to have transmission problems. And Dave, don't you do an update or something to protect the Odyssey transmission?
Yeah, it depends on the year. On some of them, we're adding coolers, transmission coolers, because they tend to run hot when you're on long drives and they're overloaded and you end up breaking down. So the other thing too, Matt, what about a radiator? I mean, that vehicle is it's 8 years old. Should he be doing a radiator yet? Considering, that radiator is only going to last 10 years.
Yeah, but a radiator's too expensive to just replace
arbitrarily replace.
Now, if this was like a Toyota pickup where we have to take the radiator out to do the job, I might give you the option. Hey, I can put your old one in that's 10 years old, or I can put a new one in. It doesn't make any difference to me because we're not charging any more labor or doing anything like that. So always ask your shop. And Jay, when you get close, you might want to check one of the bumper-to-bumper radio shops and investigate Tri-City Transmission for that upgraded cooler to protect your transmission.
When we come back, we got open lines at 602-277-5827. You can also text us at 411-923. You listen to Matt and Dave, your KTAR car guys.
Hi, Lisa Henry with Rustline Sotheby's International Realty. Have you been thinking maybe the time is right to move, but you're not sure if you have enough equity in your home or if it really is a good time? Well, home values have increased significantly over the past few years, and interest rates are still historically low. For how long? No one knows. But for every 1% increase in the interest rate, the result is about a 10% loss in purchasing power. So it might be a really great time to sell your home and either upsize or downsize to a new home while the interest rates are still low. Contact me via my website at lisareneehenry.com or direct at 480-330-9530 for a no-obligation market valuation on your home and to hear about our global online marketing plan designed to sell your home quickly for top dollar. Again, that's lisareneehenry.com, 480-330-9530. Come experience the difference a truly customer-focused real estate agent can make.
There's nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock for Kurt's Auto Repair. Family-owned and operated and bumper-to-bumper radio preferred. We've been taking care of Valley families and their auto care needs with a perfect Better Business record for over 27 years. Come experience the difference our ASE Master Techs can make for you and your family at Kurt's Auto Repair. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue and Bell Road, or online at mycarhurts.com. Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
Groovy music, Matt.
Hey, man, it's perfect for our Summer of Love promotion at Bumper to Bumper Radio, Dave.
Hey, can you dig it? We're going to share the love to help you and your car make it through another sizzling summer with the best service, products, and advice at our Bumper to Bumper Radio approved shops.
And we're going to pass that love to Phoenix Children's Hospital. Just donate $1 when you're in for service, and we'll match it for the kids.
For the Summer of Love, go to bumpertobumperradio.com today.
This is Bumper to Bumper Radio, KTAR News on 92.3 FM.
Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio here along with Matt Allen, and together we are your KTAR car guys, heard here every Saturday from 11 to noon, and we've got open lines at 602-277-5827. Actually, we got a board full of phones here, Matt. We're going to have to get caught up. But I want to take a moment to mention our Summer of Love promotion. We just finished up our first week. Had something going on at all the bumper-to-bumper shops in support of Phoenix Children's Hospital. And I believe we've got a little story from Lee on the line.
Well, I don't have Lee queued up yet, but we'll get him in. We will definitely get him in here. But this promotion that we're having, the Summer of Love, this is the lead up to the radiothon that KTAR in partnership with Phoenix Children's Hospital does every single year. The Bumper to Bumper shops, the group of us, every year since 2011 has come up with over $10,000 every year. And that's just digging into our pockets. That's not asking our community for support or our customers. So for the next 8 weeks, all the way up to the radiothon, if you want to come into a bumper-to-bumper radio shop, you can go to the Interstate Battery, all battery stores. There's one in the East Valley, a couple on the west side. You can go in there. You don't even have to get a repair done. Just drop off $5 if you want, and we're matching. The shops are matching, so we're hoping we can get that number way up over $10,000 again this year. And we do now have Lee Weatherby from Accurate Automotive, one of our bumper-to-bumper shops, and he's got a pretty cool story. He's got the materials on the counter at the shop, right, Lee? And had a very generous gentleman come in.
You know, we really did, guys. It's I'm totally excited, to be doing this and obviously participating with it. But we, the guys at the counter are always excited to, have customers participate with us. And when Michael came and talked to us about this, I thought, hey, guys, this would be a great thing where we just let our customers know what we're doing and see what we've got. And you know what? Let's face it, guys, we've got fantastic customers, all of us, and they love to help out too when we're good about letting them know what we're doing. And one of our customers came in, he was paying cash, and Joshua, the guy at the counter, just said to him, he says, hey, we're doing this little promotion. He was getting ready to give him one of the little red flags for the Phoenix Children's Hospital. He goes, well, how much are you guys asking for? Well, we're just hoping that every customer could give us $1. Well, his change was $80. It was actual cash. And he just took the $80. He says, no, you're going to match what my donation is. I said, absolutely. He says, all right, here. He took the little bucket and just threw it in and says, hey, he says, you know what, anything I can do, for our community, he says, I'm up for it. And I thought, wow, what an amazing thing. It's just fascinating to see how people really, really do love to participate, in things that really, really matter. So I was excited to be able to share that, with you guys and really with the community, because we just have fantastic people that we get to not only work with, but just hang around and be with. So
yeah, Lee, it's really great. And I know you're one of the guys that have been there every year, and it's fascinating to go into the hospital and see what's going on there and how well these kids are getting taken care of. I mean, I kind of live it every day. My wife works there. I hear some of the stuff. She doesn't bring it home too much because sometimes it's not real fun to talk about. But that hospital is there to help our community and help kids, and it's one of the biggest ones in the Southwest. So it's a great thing. Lee, thanks for calling in this morning.
Hey, you guys, thanks for everything. I really, really appreciate it, Matt. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you're welcome, and thanks for sharing that story. And it's a nice thing to do, and if you can participate, then fantastic. We would all appreciate it. And we'll be talking more about this in August when we present that big fat check, hopefully.
And if you live anywhere near, Mesa or work near Mesa and you're looking for a great shop, Lee at Accurate Automotive, I'd send anybody there tomorrow. I mean, fantastic shop, really a big part of the community. I've been here my whole life, and this is a great community. And I think things like this going on, people looking out, I mean, everyone you see, they're your brother, your sister. I mean, it's part of the community.
Well, that's the other thing with these bumper-to-bumper shops. This isn't franchises. These aren't 25-location shops. These are mom and pops, so to speak. I mean, I use that phrase, mom and pop. But we're all just guys that have shops and have been in the business and are passionate about it. You're going to see us at church. You're going to see us in the neighborhood at the soccer game, road raging, wherever. We're around. But we're your friends and we're in the community. So,
well, thanks again for calling in, Lee. I'm going to go to a text here. Someone texting it. I like a 2012 to 2014 Ford Focus, but it seems like there are some tranny issues out there. Have you guys seen this? And what they're referring to, that car it's a manual transmission, but it doesn't have a shifter attached to it. It literally has electric motors on the inside of it that actually actuate. So it's electronic gear shift is another name for it, or dual clutch transmission. It's a new technology that's coming around, and like anything with new technology, I haven't heard any dramatic problems with it, but I know there are some software updates that can be done to that car to fix a lot of that stuff. But it's just a new technology. It's like when CVT transmissions, the last decade, I'd say they've been around. And there's been some hurdles, and same thing with this. And that transmission's used in Volkswagens. I mean, not that exact transmission, but that technology.
Yeah.
It's used across the industry. We're seeing it more and more.
Hey, speaking of computer updates and stuff, maybe today's not a good day to be driving a Jeep, huh?
No, I know.
Jeep, Fiat, Chrysler, 1.4 million models recalled. We've put a Facebook link up on our Bumper to Bumper Radio Facebook page. You can find us there, and while you're there, like us, please. Dave and I enjoy some new friends occasionally. And but what there's a link to Chrysler's website where you can go in and put your VIN number in and see if your car needs an update. And what we're talking about is this hacking thing that's been in the news. It's all these stories about cars being able to be hacked into, and it can be done. I don't think people are just randomly going to be able to hack into a car. I think the story gets a little deeper. They had some time with this car and they had the car set up, but it still exposed an issue. So if you want to see if your car is ready for an update to keep the hackers out, go to bumpertobumperradio.com, find us our Facebook page, and there's a link there.
And keep following up with the show because there'll be more and more information as we come to it. So, hey, we're going to go to Chris in Chandler on a 2005 Chevrolet Malibu. Chris, you're on Bumper to Bumper Radio. What can we do for you?
Well, this is actually my husband's vehicle, and he is on his fourth battery. The battery, he doesn't drive his car a lot because he works at home, but he'll drive it, maybe once a week. He goes out to his car, dead battery, takes it back to the automotive store, and they say, well, it was a bad battery. Let's give you another one. He's on his fourth battery. I can't believe there have been this many bad batteries out there that he's been able to purchase.
It's actually not all that surprising. The vehicle's 10 years old. 4 and 10 years is how many? Is that a little over 2 years apiece?
I don't know.
No, this has been 4 batteries in the last few months.
Okay, it's a little different story.
Yeah,
so maybe we got a key-off draw or something going on.
Yeah, there's something going on there. There's some kind of parasitic draw. There's something happening. I mean, you're always going to have a light draw on the battery to keep the clock and the computer memory and things like that alive and going. But there's something else. Maybe there's an alarm system that's going off, and maybe the siren's disconnected. There's a relay not showing.
The light in the trunk is staying on.
Yeah,
something like that.
Goofy stuff. Years ago, I had a customer with a Porsche. Every time he'd go, he was a pilot. He'd go out of town. He'd come back to a dead battery. Couldn't figure it out. He could leave the car for the same amount of time anywhere else, only when he left it at the airport. We had a built-in radar detector.
Oh, yeah, and there's a lot of radar at the airport.
Yeah, the built-in radar detector is just going off for a week at a time. That's why the battery's dead. So
I wouldn't imagine 4 defunct batteries in a row, but yeah, something's going on. Matt's talking about a parasitic draw, so that's something that's pulling voltage out of the battery when it doesn't need to be.
I can guarantee you one thing. Those were not interstate batteries.
No.
Because they're not going to be bad like that.
No, they're not. All right, thanks so much for the call. We are going to go with Mike in Glendale on a 2000 Honda Civic. How can we help you, Mike? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Yeah, I'm working on my kid's car, the 07 Honda, and the battery's got a full charge. Also put the battery charger on her with a boost, tried to do it. All I hear is the starter just click. I can't imagine a starter just totally being bad.
Well, they don't.
It could be a chance of a loose wire, or
it could be a loose wire, but that's what a starter does when they go bad. I mean, I haven't heard one have not only gone half bad. So the thing to do when that's clicking, if you can have somebody help you and you have access to the starter, this is the old test for the tow truck driver to salvage from having to tow the car versus just jump start it. Just get underneath the car wherever you are, make sure it's safe, the wheels are chalked, take all your safety precautions that you need to do. And while someone's holding that key in the start position, just whack it with a hammer. I mean, not a sledgehammer. You're not trying to drive a stake into the ground.
Rubber mallet.
But you need the metallic. You need even the end of a ratchet handle or something like that. Just give it a smack, and if the car starts, you've got a bad starter.
Well, that is our car tip of the day. Is that keeping your battery cables clean is a big deal. I'm amazed how many cars come into my shop where I can grab the cable with my hand and I can wiggle it, and it's got all kinds of fuzz built up on it. And these cars are very electronic, so they can obviously be hacked. So, I mean, you can tell they're electronic. They got stuff going on. But it doesn't take more than a little bit of a loose cable or a bad connection to make things not work quite right in your car. And you're going to have all these little problems that aren't really definable, but they're just a little annoyances. a lot of times it goes back to those battery cables. So if you're a do-it-yourselfer, you can grab a can of pop and pour it over the top of the battery. Do people still do that, Matt?
I don't know. I've seen that. You're just somewhere and you're stranded. Pour some Coke on it, cleans off the stuff. You can use baking soda. And what we're talking about is sometimes you open up the hood and you've got this big cauliflower growing on the battery.
Pet.
Oh, chia pet. Okay. And usually it's not green, though. It's white. So you've got this big growth on the battery cables, or even just that dirt across the top of the battery. It looks like sometimes you'll have little snowflakes of acid on top of the dirt. And just that dirt makes enough of a connection where it creates a draw instead of connectivity between the positive and negative, and will work on slowly just killing that battery. So good thing to have checked occasionally.
Well, we got Blue, Glenn, Mike, and Charlie on the line. I'm going to go to a text real quick, and this is on a 1998 Mitsubishi Eclipse. The temperature gauge is constantly bouncing from normal to hot. This thermostat has been replaced. What in the heck could it be?
Well, based on that, I mean, you're not going to have water temperature go hot, cold, hot, cold. It's just not going to have that swing like that.
I'm thinking air pocket.
Well, I'm thinking air pocket, or maybe there's nothing wrong because you didn't get – it didn't just mysteriously have an air pocket. Usually an air pocket happens after a repair.
Like a thermostat.
Like a thermostat. So, but why did he put the thermostat in the first place? Because he thinks it's running hot. So this might be a case where we need to really, truly not go off of a gauge that's just giving you a high and a low range. You got to get a temperature gun or a scan tool or something that can actually read the temperature of the engine and make sure it's overheating. I kind of suspect maybe we have a gauge problem. If it's swinging fast like that, up, down, hot, cold, and it's instantaneous.
I'm thinking loose battery cables with a chia pet on top of it. That's what I'm thinking personally. So anyhow, when we come back, we've got 3 and maybe time for one more at 602-277-5827. You're listening to Matt and Dave, your KTAR Car Guys on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Golfers, come join us for one last cool getaway this summer with Bunker to Bunker's popular two-person scramble. We're headed to the spectacular Tom Fazio Mountain Course at the award-winning Lodge at Ventana Canyon in Tucson on Saturday, August 22nd. An incredible value, the tournament is just $89, which includes lunch, prizes, big raffle, and a free golf bounce back coupon when you help us support Special Olympics. Room rates start at just $95 per night. Great location, great value, the perfect way to end summer. Go to bunkergolf.com for details.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A+ rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20+ years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
Ouch! Being out of tune is no fun, and maybe even a little painful. Hi, this is Lee Weatherby, owner of Accurate Automotive in Mesa. At Accurate, we are a family-owned and operated one-stop automotive repair shop that specializes in building long-term relationships that are in tune with your needs, not ours. We've been recognized nationally as one of the top shops in the country, but for over 20 years, our priority has stayed focused on providing quality automotive service and repair at a fair price. I invite you to come in and see the difference an in-tune relationship can make for you and your car. With our free courtesy inspection, a $49 value, we feel it is well worth our investment in you because we believe good long-term relationships start early with your first walk through our doors. Accurate Automotive, home of friends serving friends, just off Broadway and Robson in Mesa since 1992. For more information, check us out online at accurateautomotiveaz.com today.
Ready to improve your game? Hi, I'm Greg McLean.
And I'm Brandon Harris. We created Premier Fitness Systems, a completely unique training and golf performance center in Scottsdale with a focus on strength, flexibility, posture, alignment, and body position.
Having achieved great success with professional golfers and teaching pros, we're now offering you a challenge to improve your game with a free TPI golf screening and 2 golf performance training sessions. For our offer and testimonials, go to premierfitnesssystems.com.
Improve your game, improve your life. Premier Fitness Systems.
Fix it or forget it. This is the show that'll help you decide what to do with your car. Bumper to Bumper Radio. KTAR News on 92.3 FM.
Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio here along with Matt Allen, and I am just here reading the text. It says, I need the name of a place near Apache Junction for diesel mechanic. And I figured that was a great question to introduce Bumper to Bumper Radio for those of you who have never listened to the show before. Bumper to Bumper Radio is Matt and I helping the motorist have a better car experience. We are attached to a referral list of shops, places that we would send our mother or family member, guys that we really trust because we knew they do the right thing and they do a good job. And not only they're honest, they're good at what they do. And that's more rare anymore. And you know what? If I was in Apache Junction, I would make the trip all the way to Chandler to go see the guys at Automotive Diagnostic Specialties. Greg LaFonsi and his team over there, they're excellent at diesel repair. You have any other recommendations there, Matt?
Well, I mean,
that's where I'd go.
Yeah, that's where I'd go. And Greg is a Bosch Diesel Service Center. So if Greg, that doesn't work out for you, you could try looking at the Bosch Diesel website and get another referral, or maybe call ADS. But they're definitely a place where I would be going if I was anywhere near there with a diesel problem.
Well, Matt, we got 4 phone calls we got to get cracking on. We are going to go with Charlie, and he's in Miami. With an 08 Dodge Ram truck. How can we help you, Charlie?
We got listeners all the way from Miami.
Miami, I know. I don't think it's Miami,
how's
Florida.
How's the beach and the palm trees, Charlie?
They're pretty good.
Oh, man.
What I'd like to know is I had a new air compressor put on and new lines and a new dryer and all this stuff. And it doesn't work. My air conditioner doesn't work all the time, just some of the time. It'll come off and then it'll come back on.
That's that summertime air conditioner.
Right.
Yeah.
When you say come off and come on, is it the airflow stopping and starting, or is the hot
the cold?
The hot and cold going. Okay. So we had all those new. How long ago were all those new pieces put on?
They put about 9 months ago.
Has it always been like that ever since you got that done?
No. At first it was okay.
Okay. So.
Well, and when it's cold, it puts out nice, good cold air when it's working, right?
Yeah.
Kind of. Well, there's a couple things. I know the Dodge trucks, and I think the 2008 is in this model year range.
They're not super chilly. I know that.
Well, and they have blend door problems. There's a blend door that's going to direct the air well, not direct the air. It's going to blend the air. It's going to blend the hot and the cold air so that you get the temperature you want. If you go all the way to cold, you're going to have the coldest air the car will produce. If you go all the way to hot, you're going to have 150, 80, or 180 degree air coming out. So if you want 70, we need a lot of cold and a little bit of heat. And what happens is those doors on the Dodge trucks, the hinges or the door flap, and even sometimes the case itself, or could even be the control motor, they break. And so maybe that door is just flopping around a little bit, and it occasionally directs one way or the other. It depends on how maybe even just bumps and driving over the road can affect it if it's broken like that.
That's one consideration. Another consideration I was thinking about, if the system's a little low on charge, it sometimes it's going to be working good, at other times it's not going to be working good. But if I were looking at it, I would want to see it when it's not working and see what's not happening.
Yeah.
At that time.
And I think a low charge would be the case of it's good in the morning but bad in the afternoon. That's one thing you can watch for.
Thanks so much for the call, Charlie. We're going to go with Blue in Casa Grande on a 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee. How can we help you?
Yeah, I'm having a lot of trouble with my tail lights. It's my wife's Jeep, and it's like our secondary driver because we live out in the country, so we put a lot of miles on the Corolla. And the tail lights off and on have been an issue. We've had it for 9 years, so I actually got it with low miles are pretty new. But 6 years ago, the tail lights went ahead and were messing up. I bought brand new set of tail lights, put them on, they worked fine for like another 3 years. And then I put another set of tail lights on there when they started messing up again. Well, this time I put just circuit boards on there, and they work when they want to. The actual tail light themselves work most of the time. The four-way flashers work all the time now. But the turn signals, because I went ahead and I drove it into town, and they work fine, not a problem. Drive it in literally the very next day, and absolutely nothing the entire trip. And then turn it off, went to work, get off of work, and they work again.
Okay.
Well, I'm thinking.
And also, there was one other thing, was I'm paying real close attention to the gauges, and on occasion, the cruise control will kick out, and I actually get the part-time light coming on the dash.
Maybe that's taking us
that's
somewhere.
a big. That's not tail lights. That's something else.
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking? Maybe with the cruise control kicking out, maybe
Brake
you've got
switch.
a brake light switch or something that's having an effect there, or a similar to a brake application, maybe a short in a wire. Because the one thing that has the ultimate control over the cruise control is the input of the brake light switch.
For sure. The other thing, my wife had the same Jeep Cherokee, and she had taillight problems, and it was the wiring right where the tailgate comes up and down. It just over all the years of chafing back and forth, and you imagine live kind of out in the country, you're driving down dirt roads all the time, it may be just chafing those wires in there. So that would be one place I would be looking for a pinched wire.
Definitely.
So thanks so much for the call. We are going to go with Glenn in Phoenix on an 04 Isuzu Rodeo. How can we help you, Glenn? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hey, guys. Enjoy your show.
Thanks.
Hey, got a question for you. I changed my transmission filter out of my Chevy, and it has a transmission cooler. And I wasn't really too worried about, just taking the fluid out and putting new fluid in. But I got an 04 Isuzu Rodeo that I want to change the filter in. But I'm afraid to just take the pan off and change the filter, but leave air in the lines since it doesn't have a transmission cooler in it.
Yeah, you're not going to leave any air in the lines. In other words, if you know that in that transmission pan, there's a fluid level. You know, if you picture like a fish tank looking at it from the side, you know, there's an air gap up on top, but the filter is below the fluid level if it's filled up all the way, and the pump is sucking through that filter. So you're not going to have any air in the lines, and I think people, you know, not really quite sure black magic-wise what's on the inside of the transmission, but I wouldn't be worried about that at all. I believe an 04 Isuzu Rodeo is the 4L30. I could be wrong on that, but
yeah, I was debating whether that had a metal screen or actual paper filter. I'm just not sure either.
But yeah, there's no reason you can't remove the pan and change the filter or screen and then go ahead and service it.
And get a good quality filter. You know, when you go to the auto parts store, they're not that much. Buy the most expensive one, and get the good rubberized gasket, not the cheap cork that's folded into 6. You know, it's origami to get it out of the box, and those things leak. So get a good filter and get the right fluid, and I think you'll have some success.
Well, I think that's all of them. Let's take a look at our text here, see if we got anything else going on. There was a text here about a leaking water pump, and I didn't quite get all the details on it.
Dave, I think we got one more. I think we might have Charlie and Gilbert hanging out. Or Charles.
Oh, yeah.
Charles and Gilbert, you still there?
Yes. I have 2006 Suburban, 170,000 miles on it, and it's developed this thing recently of kind of stuttering or almost stalling at when it's idling, or just like pulling up to a stop sign and stopping and that kind of a thing.
How many miles did you say are on this again, Charles?
170,000.
And so it's just a light. I mean, you're coming up to a stoplight, been driving for a while, and it just feels like it wants to stall. Does it actually stall sometimes?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Well, we're getting down to the end here. I think I'm going to give you a couple tips. I'm thinking we might just have a dirtied up, carboned up throttle body. We might have an idle air control motor that's not letting enough air into the engine. You know, there's no screws to go turn and set the idle. The computer controls all of these things, and there's minimum air gaps and minimum flow rates. And when those orifices or those bodies get clogged up with carbon, we need to just clean that out. And that could be some of that. That's the first place I would look.
Well, thanks for joining us. Thanks, Bree, for answering the phones and running the dials. Remember to stop off at a Bumper to Bumper radio shop. You can find them at bumpertobumperradio.com, and donate $1. We'll match it for Phoenix Children's Hospital. Remember never to text and drive. And from all the shops at Bumper to Bumper Radio, have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
Matt and I share car repair tips weekly to help you keep your car safely on the road, and a few of them are easy to do.
Yep, you're right, Dave. And one of the easiest is to have a dependable battery that you can trust to get you started no matter what the conditions.
Interstate batteries are what we trust at Bumper to Bumper Radio. In fact, they're what we use at our own shops for our customers.
If you're like most people, your car is one of your most valuable investments. Make sure you take care of that investment with the power necessary to get you where you need to be. Interstate Batteries are America's #1 replacement brand with the factory fresh guarantee, and they're easy to find at good shops everywhere.
Cars or trucks, Interstate has you covered with long life and performance in our harsh desert climates with products like Megatron Plus that carries a 30-month free replacement and a 6-year performance guarantee.
Interstate Batteries. No battery lasts longer. Check them out at interstatebatteries.com.
Hi, I'm Scott, General Manager with Whitey's Auto Repair here in South Scottsdale. We built a reputation for quality auto service and repair for over 45 years, and our customers have come to trust us for our recommendations. We value that trust, and that's why when it comes to transmissions, for the past several decades, we've been recommending Tri-City Transmission. They have yet to disappoint. I feel so strongly about it, I wouldn't go anywhere else. Why would you? Google them online today at tricitytransmission.com. Go where the pros go. Tri-City Transmission.
Groovy music, Matt.
Hey man, it's perfect for our Summer of Love promotion at Bumper to Bumper Radio, Dave.
Hey, can you dig it? We're going to share the love to help you and your car make it through another sizzling summer with the best service, products, and advice at our Bumper to Bumper Radio approved shops.
And we're going to pass that love to Phoenix Children's Hospital. Just donate $1 when you're in for service